guys, welcome back to the I Did It First podcast. I'm Riley.
I'm Anna.
And it's been a minute since we've been in the chair. I don't know if you can tell because it's nude tape.
You're all wrapped up.
I got my nose done. And if you hear sniffling, it's not me this time. It's her. And I told her I prefaced this episode by saying, go blow your nose.
Just talking to the mic, though, can you?
I'm talking to the mic. Oh, she's feeling spicy. Okay. That kind of transitions into our topic because I'm going to do a whole lot of healing by just calling a duck.
Quack. Quack.
Also, too, since getting my nose done, I am numb. Like, this top lip is numb.
I think it's obvious.
So I can't really... I feel like I'm just like...
You're not animated like normal.
Yes. Like normal.
You
relax that vein.
Like you
relax that vein.
Well, because I've told you this is what you look like. Like you have this...
I can't.
like it's like a mannequin. Like a ventriloquist doll. Like, you know, when their jaw just opens.
She literally said this to me like 1 week post-op. And I'm like, wow, that's probably... I don't know. So fucking mean. That is so rude.
Because you won't be numb forever. So I'm enjoying this.
Okay.
Well,
today we're talking about something that we are both so guilty of.
Yes.
And that it is really something that you did do first. And that's probably why I do it. It's because I saw how the sausage was made. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is how we quote unquote heal, is by avoiding.
Okay, in my defense, before we start, I've never said that I'm super proud of this.
No.
Actually, I will go as far as to say that I am aware that maybe a lot of these behaviors are not positive.
Okay.
They've
How old am I though?
They're mostly survival mode type of behaviors. Yes. And now I know better. And I'm trying.
I think you do better now that you know. But granted, I'm 23, turning 24 very soon. This has taken a very long time.
Yes.
Ooh. And I have seen, and I'm like pointing the finger, and I know I have fingers pointing back at me because I'm equally as guilty.
Correct.
But I have seen the way you handle things in the name of quote unquote healing, and it's not healthy. And I obviously you're not the only one that does this. That's why we thought it would be important to bring on to the podcast.
So the main topic is healing versus avoiding.
Yes.
And I have thrived in avoiding.
Same.
As a matter of fact, I will say even a lot of my mindset with healing, let's talk about relationships, was very much to get over someone, you have to get under someone.
Yes.
And I really felt for a long time that was solid, like
this is
framework for healing.
Yeah.
Yes. I would stand behind it because it worked for me.
Did it though?
I mean, I hate to say it, this is why I did not want this for you. Like, I knew that it did, but I didn't say I was healing. Yeah. I just got through it. There's, again, survival. It was not,
okay,
I'm going to come out of this a really good person and maybe not hurt someone other. It definitely,
no, you're definitely hurting somebody else. So I'm mostly myself. Ask you, since this is about a relationship, like in
this context.
Yes, yeah. In this context. Do you think that you really got over someone by sleeping with someone else, or do you think that you just started to have, when you start to talk to somebody new, then you obviously forget or get over someone you used to talk to? Was it like that? Like, oh, you're just hooking up with someone else, so that's more fun.
I think because you can get caught up in those new feelings, and it's very easy to ignore painful feelings. So like that giddy, the butterflies, and even though we talked about in another episode, that's also red flags a lot of times. But I mean, I'm also avoiding at this point. Yeah. So worrying about the butterflies as red flags is not my priority. Yeah. But getting consumed in that newness of something, I mean, it served as such a distraction that I probably convinced myself more times than not that I was fine.
It was just a distraction, though.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I mean, I can be honest about, and I know that, and I know that I didn't want you to go through healing in like, let's say relationships. I mean, that's probably a single thing in every person's life.
Romantic. Obviously, this applies to like platonic friendships
and work, like situations of everything. But
yeah,
I think the human like fundamental common denominator is relationships, where everyone struggles with this. And I have really outdone myself in the avoiding category to the point of, you know, we say relationships, but I'd also gotten so good at like isolating myself. Like really good. Like glamorizing the hell out of it. Like I would like bedazzle fucking isolation.
Which is horrible because I learned recently that loneliness is like the number one killer for older people.
I know, and I told you this
too. That is so sad. So listener, you have to be in community, you have to have friends.
I'm working on this now because I know that I enjoy being alone too much. Maybe.
I agree. And I do too, but that's where I even force myself because I'm like,
to engage.
Yeah, I am 20 and I get this whole like clean girl aesthetic has been presented, and it's like, but what also happened to just going out and being 20? Like that is the part that I know I need to push myself because I'm like in bed with a book and a little tea, like 8 o'clock. And
that's where I'll say I did get a lot of that. I did all that.
Yeah.
But I think like we talked about this all during COVID, where so many people were furious and upset and unhappy. I literally was like, I have been training for this my whole fucking life.
Oh no.
Are you kidding me?
Ate that up. Like
that was my moment. Like force me to not talk to people. Are you kidding?
Which is such a privileged thing to say, obviously.
I mean, it is. And why do you have to go there right away?
Well,
I'm dealing with my own
trauma.
Let me have my moment.
As I'm like rolling on the floor crying, being like, there's
you had
no
a toddler
way.
Adult tantrum. It was crazy. I've never seen that. Guys, she was on the ground.
No, this is about you. We're talking about you. She loved it. You love being alone. Even now, it's like, I'll try and get you to do stuff, and you're dragging your feet like a cat, like claws into my skin as I'm like trying to pull you out of the house to go do stuff because I'm like, this is healthy. Like you have to.
I know.
Like you have to heal. You're avoiding the outside. You're like that Benchwarmers character. What's the one that's like in the closet? You know what I'm talking about? Why can't I think?
Is it the nose?
It's the nose. It cut off circulation to my brain. I can't.
I know. But we're we'll go back to I mean, I have, and that's part of that because I've learned that I probably haven't healed from a lot of things. Like this episode's in real time. Like this is current in our lives right now.
With everything, I'm like trying to be more aware of. And I was always the type that's like, I'm so healthy. I'm like so quick to block people, so quick to stop talking to people, which like, yes, is that a good quality? Once you realize that people are taking advantage of you or not respecting your boundaries, like obviously do not keep those people in your circle.
Right. Because you can't heal from people like that.
No. But I would go to the other extreme. Like, I'm blocking people mid-conversation. Like, if someone did me dirty, like, I'm in the back of the Uber. Like, bye, blocked.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna and on top of that, I know we talked about this, but, like, I'm blocking your friends, too. So, none of you can see what I'm up to. None of you
I've done that. I told you. Like, I was at a job where things got really bad. And there were even people there I still liked. But not only did I block the main people, the owners and everything else, I was like, I better block all these other people too, because I just don't want my name coming up.
Yeah.
And could I have had positive relations? Obviously, but I'm like, I don't want to deal with this at all. Block, block, block. Like if you scroll through my block list, you're like literally going 1, 2. Like it's
same.
It's bad. Like, and I've told you, I almost wish they would
like a search bar, like in the way that you can search your followers. Because I'm like,
I don't even remember anymore. Are they on this list?
I will go and look at who I've blocked, and I'm like, I don't even remember.
But I've convinced myself too that that's
healthy.
Which
I know it definitely is. And I've had friendships that I've ended over, granted, yes, like terrible things, but I feel like I obviously in the moment didn't heal from it because it's like I did not address what was happening. And that goes back to the let them or let them have it, even because it's like, yes, these people are going to act how they're going to act. Let them show you who they are. But a part of healing comes from letting them have it and sticking up for yourself. Like if you constantly are just letting people treat you like shit, like that's
true.
Not healing. Like I get you can walk away, you can set a boundary, but also the people that you should be setting boundaries towards are the people that
resist them the most, right? Because they benefited from not having any. But that's the thing. Even with those people, they'll let them have it. This is where avoiding has served me. Okay. It's not that I don't want to let them have it, but they push back against that so much that I don't want to keep that interaction going. And there's no healing in that constant interaction.
No, not constant. It's not constant interaction. It's constant. That's toxic. Yeah. Like, say your piece. Okay,
like
I
said, real time. This is real time. This is happening. Okay, so I am trying. It is very difficult. I will go back to I always go back to I'm a 90s kid.
I know.
We were full of it's not though. Toxic behavior was our jam. Like it was.
I guess
Let's just be honest.
But you're not in the 90s anymore. Sorry to burst your bubble.
Okay, so part of that healing though, I will tell you, my definition or what I understand has changed too. Okay. So a lot of that avoidance for me came from the fact that I really felt like healing had to often, almost always include an apology. Yes. And it wasn't until I would say I was much older that I realized that actually most of the time it won't include an apology.
Like you expecting an apology? Is that what you mean?
Right. Because healing implies that you've been hurt, right? Or that something damaged you.
Yes.
And so that would include, you'd assume someone, let's just say it's someone that's cheated on you, wanted to understanding that healing, that definition for me changed so much, has made my understanding of healing different.
Yeah.
I just thought, okay, I'm going to avoid it. I'm not going to heal because they're never going to say sorry.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of how I really believed that was supposed to go. And until I understood, you know what, they're actually probably never going to apologize for this shit. Like I need to just be okay with.
Well, especially because it's like
what it is. Like,
do they
accept what it is?
Anything wrong in what they did? Like I think that's where people need to put and me included, obviously.
Yeah.
Like I know that I have hurt people, and not even intentionally, but it's like, was I even aware of what I was doing? Like, can I give someone an apology if I wasn't aware that I hurt them? And that's like not even fair to other people that have hurt me, because it's like, if I'm so quick to block, obviously neither party can heal from that, because it's like,
right,
I don't even give them an opportunity to say sorry.
But okay, so let's just say, I'll play devil's advocate.
That's probably like my biggest strength and my biggest weakness.
When you hurt someone,
yeah,
and I like this is kind of clicking for me. I at that point I'm usually very much, I don't like this person. If I'm willing to hurt them,
I agree.
I have no intention on apologizing either.
Yes,
no, but I'm just being honest. If I'm at that point and I think of a relationship, when you've gone so far to the point that you don't care anymore.
Yes.
And obviously the answer would have been to break up a lot sooner.
But it's like
that often does.
You're already in it. Yeah.
So then by the time you hurt them back, you're like, I don't even care. Like I want them to be in pain. Like I know this is not mature. This whole episode is a trigger warning. So.
It is a trigger warning, because it's just like.
But when you get to that point, you're like, I'm so thinking about the other person that hurt you. Maybe they're at that point that they don't care. So why would you expect an apology from them?
That's very true.
And so me understand, and I'll be honest, like I was very much an adult when I realized, wait, they're not going to apologize.
Yeah.
They're so involved in their own, like so self-centered in their own world that they cannot see how they've affected me.
Yeah.
That was really hard to accept as an adult, I think, because I felt like I feel this way. I don't want to hurt someone else. How can they not feel this way? It was hard to grasp, I think.
And I think that is like that's your answer. Like you're seeking for something that they are literally like wrapping in a bow for you. Like there's nothing to figure out.
So like avoiding was my answer, because I didn't know how to answer that or address that. So I was just like, I'm just not even going to go there.
Why do you think isolating I'm just saying yourself, yes, because it's obviously I'm talking to you. But why do you think isolating yourself is easier than explaining yourself?
Because I find isolating easy.
Yes, I agree.
I am willing to like accept sometimes the bullshit lie I tell myself, and maybe that involves this is better than actually trying to address that person. And maybe we talked about this recently. Okay. It's a trust thing. I don't trust that conversation is going to go well. I don't trust that they're going to see You know what I can trust? That if I go off on my own, I'm be okay.
Be better. Yeah, I agree.
Again, not always the answer. I can say this. PSA, this is not what you're supposed to do.
No. So I think the answer to that a lot of people search for, and just going back to relationships, is closure.
Oh my gosh.
Which I think
it's a big one.
It's fake. Closure does not exist.
It is fake. So I told you, I mean, everyone knows who Oprah is. I was never a big Oprah watcher when she was on every day.
Yeah.
I don't know where I caught this clip, but Oprah said something that is so burned in my brain that, I mean, I think it's like, this is my small Roman empire, because I've thought about this so much. And she said that you will never get closure if it didn't end on your terms.
Which is so powerful. And I've heard this obviously so many times.
From me?
Yeah, from you.
I've said this because nothing made more sense in my whole life.
Yes.
And maybe that's also how I justified avoiding. But when she said, you will never get closure if it didn't end on your terms. Like, I go back to relationships where I've been cheated on.
Yes.
And of course, you never want to be cheated on. You never want to be lied to.
And then on your terms, yeah.
Of course. And so when it ends on, because of that, almost always when someone breaks up with you, it's never your terms.
Yeah.
You're never going to be okay with it. There is no closure that will make that okay.
There's always like a shock value. Yes.
And so nothing has honestly been so clear to me. So maybe that's also where I also combined that, even though I could have taken that thought and made it very positive behavior, I thought, well, this wasn't my idea, so I don't have to talk to them anyway.
I get that.
It was like girl math. There was like some girl math in there that made that okay for me. I was like, well, it's not what I wanted. So,
and that's where you go to the other extreme of
100%. I leaped.
What did you say to get? Why can't I think of it? To get over someone? Yeah, you have to get under someone. Closure doesn't exist if you.
There is no one last conversation
or girlfriend broke. Yes, exactly. And it's like, I'm gonna go meet him for lunch. Like, I need. No, you don't.
No,
like,
it's done. It's been done.
It's been done, and that like. I've had to come to terms with that. Like, that doesn't exist. I will say this. I think if you know you're in a bad relationship or you want out, if you have to go to that person 100 times in order to eventually break up and like get that courage to call it quits for the final time, that is your closure.
Yeah, but I don't think that's closure. I think that's you finally just wear yourself down to the point you can't take it any. That's not really closure. That's closure. Like burnt out. That's like a breaking point. But that's not really closure.
I think that is. I think it is.
Agree to disagree.
Well, I'd agree with you, but we'd both be wrong. I think that is because it's like this idea of closure is just like, oh, ending on good terms. No, like obviously if you're ending on good terms, you'd most likely still be together. You didn't fall out of love or you weren't really in love as much as you guys were both trying to sell it to each other. Like that's the truth. Because two people that are meant to be together, like, come on.
That's true. I mean, but I will say when it comes to this, I may have done it first, but you didn't do it next because the healing versus avoidance. I've seen you suffer till you healed, and I was like, mind you, while I watched it and was so empowered by you and so proud of you, I was like, yeah, don't put me down for that.
It's so,
because I swear I've seen you suffer so much. It was like taking a salt bath after 1,000 paper cuts, and I was like, that is literally the most painful thing I've seen in my life.
The worst. And obviously I think of like one scenario.
I would have done anything to make you stop suffering because it was terrible.
Yeah, getting cheated.
It reminded me why I have such toxic behavior because I was like, I cannot do this.
I think you did tell me like, honestly, just go out there, like whatever. But
I think
like,
I did.
How? And I was in a lot of pain because I'd gotten cheated on with someone who bullied me in high school. And like when I say bully, like I do not put that lightly, like fully keyed my car, like created fake Instagram accounts, like straight up bullying me online, and which like yeah,
that was horrible.
Like there's so much
that's
more.
A whole other episode for sure.
Yes. And that obviously when I found out that he had cheated on me with this person, I was just like, what?
It was like insult to injury.
Yes. And there was never closure with that because it's like, obviously no one wants to get cheated on. And second of all, like I did break up with him, but it's because of something he did, not because necessarily I was like,
again, not on your terms because
exactly. And it's like, I've grown, and honestly, thank God that relationship crashed and burned the way that it did, because I would not be able to love my boyfriend now the way that I do had that not happened.
Right.
But
you were really suffering alone.
I was down in the trenches. Like I was so depressed. I was not, and I say this kind of with a smile, like laughing now, but thinking back, like I wish I could go back and hug that version of Riley, because that was literally the most painful thing ever. And it's like, I know so many girls listening can relate to that, because I was not eating. I was like not hanging out I was literally letting myself, I would say that was probably the most like appropriate, most mature thing I've done in my adulthood. It's
the most mature thing you've done in my adulthood.
And I was like, it's gonna fucking hurt regardless. I rather just experience this hurt now. And like I say hurt now, this fucking like was so painful. And yeah, I was so sad I wasn't eating.
Screaming, crying, like it was bad.
Like, you know, when like kids cry and it gets quiet for a second, they're just catching their breath to get louder, like fully crying like that. And I let myself go through it, and then it's like, you're almost not, like there's literally nothing left to give. Like you can't fucking be sad anymore.
Yeah, I can honestly say I have not done that.
And it was horrible. I remember obviously, because I wasn't eating, everyone's like, you look so skinny. I'm like, thanks, I'm so depressed.
My
like,
jeans
my
are
jeans
loose.
are so loose. I'm like, oh, work, like taking selfies, but it's bad.
Yeah, but that isolation wasn't long term, and it wasn't. Yes. The problem is it's very different in that I would distract myself and then isolate, because thinking, oh, well, I'm good. But it was a big avoidance. It was like what you did, like you hunkered down and said, I'm going to go all in on this until I can't do this anymore. Yeah. And that's where I was like, oh.
Yeah. And that hurts a lot, obviously, but it hurts one time versus like distracting yourself and then coming home, and then when you're alone with your thoughts, I feel like that's so much worse, like versus just
it can be
versus just fuck, like we're just gonna rally through this and we're gonna get over it. And then it's like, I really believe that I came out so much stronger, and it's like, oh my gosh, wait, no, you're not my person. Like that is me healing to realize that you're not my person, because my future husband would never do that to me. Like you would never put me in a position to lose me. And I learned that.
That was really good.
It took a minute.
I mean, it felt like when we were in it, it felt like there isn't anything. Remember with your,
oh yeah. Oh my gosh. I remember like sitting at the table, and it was a Tuesday because it was a Taco Tuesday, and my parents were eating tacos, and I was not eating, but I would just like sit with them, and I swear I like felt like I never stopped crying.
I agree. You didn't.
For a very long time. And eventually they're like, my mom was like, I'll fucking do anything. Like, what do you want? And I was like, this is my chance. And I was like, I want my nose pierced. And honestly, I love a nose piercing. Like if you can pull up a nose piercing, I am so jealous. It is my favorite thing ever. Like a cute little hoop, cute little stud. Like I'm here for it. My mom's like, done. I mean, short of her piercing it herself in the kitchen.
I was ready.
Like, and if you know Anna, she'll look at someone else with nose piercing and be like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. She will take me to a tattoo appointment before she takes me to get anything pierced. And I'm like,
I don't know
where is the logic? But she took me. She's like, we're getting your nose pierced. And so then the plus side, yes, I was skinny because I was depressed, but an angel got her wings that day and I got my nose pierced. Like I was serving. It was cute. I healed. I didn't avoid.
That's crazy. And that's where I definitely have learned. I mean, I don't know that I could still pull this off if I, like I'm different where this is concerned. I know what I can manage and what I need to do. Like, you know, we have our own like survival skills.
Yes.
And mine is to distract and then avoid hard. Yeah. Like even when it was just you and I and we were living in like Long Beach, and I mean, I told you this story.
This is so sad.
And I went through my whole distraction phase, and I got so good at just avoiding people because I felt like often, like, again, it's avoiding feelings. So like, I don't have to explain what's going on. I don't have to acknowledge how I'm feeling. It was just like, I'm going to go and do that. So there's a lot of college kids that lived around where I lived because of the Cal State Long Beach. Yeah. So right across the street was a house with 5 guys that lived in it. And one day they come knocking on my door, and they were not pervy. They was the most sincere, kindest thing ever. And they're like, we just wanted to check on you. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, you're just really alone a lot. We want to make sure you're okay.
That's so
and
sad.
I was like, wow, did they just do a welfare check on me? I'm 25. Like, maybe
I wish I could go back and hold you. Like, that makes me so sad.
This is going too far. Like, I knew it went too far. I mean, here I am how many years later, and I think of that day very, like, it obviously affected me a lot because I knew that I'd gone too far. I bet they still
think of that. They're like, do you remember that one mom in Long Beach that?
Like, what was wrong? Like, I was so like, sad. And I honestly thought I was killing it. That's the worst part. Ugh. My ability to avoid and be lonely. I actually thought I was doing fantastic, but clearly that's not how I was reading at all. So there's a lot of truth in why I say like my way is not the right way. It is not healthy.
But I will say this. I think who you surround yourself with is so important.
Yes.
Like family, friends, all of that. So you have to give yourself grace because you lacked a supportive family and supportive friends. Like, obviously being a single young mom, like, your community was very small. Like,
yes. And I thought I was working hard to protect, but I see that not addressing certain feelings that wasn't.
And I think the reason that I am able to heal in a healthy way is because obviously I have parents that will like sit and just let me talk, and especially you. Like, I say parents, and obviously yes, dad does too, but you are really the backbone of our family. And it's like, that's so powerful. Like, I have friends that even I'm still talking about situations
I know
where things would happen, and it's like, instead of them being like, oh my gosh, you've talked about this, like, it's like, okay, no, we're just gonna keep talking about this until eventually you're done. Like, and that's so just how it is. Like, healing is not linear. You don't just wake up one day like a Claritin commercial and you're like, I'm gonna heal, like, I'm done. Like, no, you take a couple steps forward and then you take like 4 back, and you just keep going until eventually you reach the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's like, even in that situation when I got cheated on, it's not like I was like, bye, like, block. It's like, no, for a couple weeks we were still talking because I was gaslighting myself and being like, well, was that extreme? Like, you know what? No, I didn't deserve this, but do I deserve to treat him this way and cut him off? Like, everyone deserves a second. And it's like,
yeah, but you were still going through those feelings. I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Again, I will repeat, that is not a good idea, but I wouldn't have because I couldn't. That's just not how I have learned to like survive and manage those intense emotions.
And cutting people off is obviously such a powerful tool. But I do think it's something that we've gone.
Yeah, I'm a serial blocker though. I'm sorry.
Me too.
I know that needs work. That's where still that residual effect of how I deal with things still carries, because I know I need to be like, oh, it's not that serious. I'm like, it makes me happy.
No, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, it's not that serious. Like, I will say though, if a girl blocks you, you're like blocked.
You're done.
You're done. And you didn't agree with me on this, but I say if a guy blocks you, that's such a temporary thing. It's like a hold.
That's what I said. They need a hold button. Actually, I don't even think they do that though. I think they'll unfollow because I think they like to see you pop up.
They're just
haven't
as much
you had
divas
people?
As we are.
Listen, haven't you had guys that like will watch your story and they don't follow you anymore?
Yes.
They didn't block you.
Yeah.
They unfollowed maybe.
No, I think when people don't get their way right away, like that one kid that got super drunk at the Christmas walk, and then eventually I was like, I'm not into you. I'm so sorry. He blocked me, and I was like, okay, diva, like, what? Just because you didn't hear what you wanted to hear? Like, I'm not
He was very girl-coded in general, though.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I agree, too. I agree.
But anybody else?
I don't know. I think that's also too where we're like, oh, if there are people, they get it. Like, don't be nonchalant. I fucking hate that. I hate
be chalant. Be so chalant.
I like what? Like, don't. You're trying to give off this cool vibe, but it's like, who?
It's not working
cares?
Half the time.
Like, yeah, be so fucking chalant. Let people know how you're feeling. Let people know you love them. Let people know that, like, share your emotions. That's cool. Like, that's a cool thing to do. And Yeah, they're your
I feel like you're talking to me.
Well, I am talking like deep in your soul.
Yes, go. I'm trying to listen and learn.
If they're your people, yes, they should know. But it's like, also don't put that pressure on them. Like, give them a chance to show up for you by like literally just telling them. Same thing with like when girls are like, if he wanted to, he would. Maybe he does want to. Like, maybe give him a chance. Tell him like, I love flowers or whatever, or I love being treated like a fucking human being. Let him show up for you. If he doesn't, then that's another thing, right? Then you heal by...
See, and that I'll just defend myself because I know she's directing this at me.
I'm not, I swear, listener.
That's where I think past experience has made me more defensive. Like, that's where the avoidance goes, because I don't even want to give you the chance to disappoint me. Or not you, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm like, nope, I'm good. Like, I go in the other direction. Again, not healthy.
Yes.
To people your age and your friends. I know this isn't, but it's trying to rewire that is very difficult.
Listener, healing does not mean isolation. Healing is not linear. Like, it takes time, and the way I heal does not look like the way she heals, and vice versa, and nor does it look like the way you heal. And you kind of just have to figure out what works for you, and you have to stick up for yourself because you matter. You're the most important person in your life.
But having a little community, it doesn't have to be huge, is a lot more important than people say.
It is. It is really important.
Okay, Anna.
Okay. Yeah, write that down. Write that down. Clip that. Do whatever you have to.
It's like a new tattoo I need to get just so I don't forget.
Thank you guys so much for listening to the I Did It First podcast. I'm Riley.
I'm Anna.
And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.